Hi, welcome to another fantastic Sunday morning at Pattaya City Expats Club at the Tavern by the Sea, part of the Amari. Here, we had a wonderful Sunday morning. Well, we did, because we had the fun of doing the presentation. So I'm going to be partly interviewing myself today, which will be fun. And this is Judith Edmonds, who gave the presentation with me. And one of the things to understand about Pattaya City Expat Club is it just doesn't organise Sunday mornings and talks. It also organises things like trips to regional Thailand. See, we're only one, Chonburi, which we're in the province of Chonburi, is only one of 76 provinces. So Judith's been doing going on these tours much longer than I have. And what do you get out of going on these tours, Judith?
I get to see parts of Thailand. It's all arranged for me. I see the thick culture. I eat the food. Wonderful. And good company as well.
Yeah, occasionally you hear things said like, oh, Pattaya's not the real Thailand, but I think it's just one of many different tastes of Thailand now.
I agree with you. It is.
And so it's a very legitimate taste here, but there's many, many other tastes you can have in other parts of Thailand. And three of the things we gave a photo tour of, from my photos and a few other photos, we looked at the tours that we did to Samut Songkram and Nakhon Pathom and Bang San, which is just up the road. And Samut Songkram, which means ocean war, is this fascinating tiny little province on the other side of the Gulf that's often known as the Venice of the Orient because it has all these klongs and these beautiful water tours. So we went on a water tour there.
We did. We saw a floating market, very cheap food, very cheap goodies there. And then at night time we saw the fireflies.
Yeah, my saying with fireflies is if you've seen one firefly, you've seen them all. They really do look identical. But one of the other highlights was the palace there that was... tell us about the palace.
The palace of Rama V.
It was like a lot of palaces there. They're very influenced by Europeans at that stage. So this was a very European palace with rococo things and little angels and cupids in, but almost in a sense bizarre. But Europe was all the rage. And one of the things that was wrong with this little palace was that it tended to have be constructed in too European. And of course, those days they didn't have air conditioning. About when was that palace made?
About 1860, I believe.
Yeah, a long time ago, right? And... anyway, but it was very, very beautiful, but very strangely inappropriate to Thailand. We went to another palace when we were in the Nakhon Pathom, which had a whole different sort of vibe to it. It was like the one of Rama VI.
Yeah. That was the one that had the yellow dining room.
Yeah, the Sanam Chandra Palace in Nakhon Pathom. It was a very interesting palace. But by that stage, the architecture had changed, and it was more like a European meets Thai thing, so it's much more airy, and they'd started to adapt. And that was done by Rama VI, who was this very fascinating monarch that I suggest you look up and find some very interesting things about. What was his history? He was like, where was he educated?
He was educated at Oxford University in England, so he was very clever to get in there. He translated several plays into Thai. He performed quite a lot.
Yeah, he actually
wrote poetry.
He also wrote his own plays and performed in them. One of them performing as a woman, and a very fascinating guy. He believed he actually translated the Ramayana into Thai, or did a translation of it. And he was the guy who actually coined the name Rama. So all the previous Ramas were not named that, but he coined the name Rama VI because he liked the Rama Gi and Ramayana myth. Again, look that up. It's a very fascinating story. And what were some of the biggest highlights for you? I know that one of the big highlights for me was the Khao Luang in Phetchaburi, with the amazing mountain.
The one that had the caves that you went into. Absolutely fantastic. Worth going down the 80-odd steps. Quite difficult to do, but so worthwhile. The view in there was brilliant. Many Buddha images, including the largest one in the world. And of course, that view of the sunlight shining through the opening of the cave. Yes, it's one of
these rare places that has a very spiritual energy to it. I would have never found if I hadn't gone on this tour group. And I just wanted to clear everybody else out and just sit down there and meditate. There's certain places I've been to, like Ayers Rock and and Hanging Rock in Australia, and this place, they just have an energy to it. And this one had a very, very spiritual energy to it. So we also went up, did one trip to Bang San, which is the nearest beach to Thailand, which is just up the road, which unfortunately Judith didn't go on. Again, a very fascinating trip. And we learned about the local culture there and about how this woman who was heartbroken, who couldn't get a boyfriend because her mother wouldn't let him marry this guy because she didn't bring a dowry, threw herself off the cliff. And there's a temple there, and people come, and the women come who want to get a guy, and they just put tributes to her, little kites and stuff, wishing that they get a husband and wishing that they have money for the trip. So Judith here is our membership secretary. What are some of the advantages of becoming a member? Besides these trips and the meetings, what are some of the advantages of becoming a member?
You get discounts at various places, some restaurants, some hospitals. Come along and see us one Sunday and we can tell you all about it.
And of course you get to meet some fascinating people, some wonderful people, especially the trips are really good for that. You stay in extremely beautiful places. We stayed in some wonderful hotels, and you really get those different tastes of Thailand that you won't get if you just stay in Chonburi and Pattaya. So come to the Amari by the Tavern by the Sea on a Sunday, hear what some of the wonderful speakers, get to meet new people, get discounts, and enjoy the many, many different and use that as a window to get into other parts of Thailand. So I hope you have a great week and enjoy your week, and come and see us next Sunday. There was like nearly 130 people here this week for the talk, and come to next week where a guy I actually know, John Ryan, is talking about truth detection, what they call truth detection via voice analysis. Fascinating guy, fascinating subject. Hope to see you here next Sunday. Meanwhile, for Pattaya Mail and for Pattaya City Expats Clubs, this has been Ren with Judith Edmonds. Thank you, and goodbye for this week.